before the end of the first term of President Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi is going to throw his support to President Bola Tinubu. Just watch as the trend goes. And this is politics.
What a prediction.
The stomach politics in Nigeria is too obvious. I think these people should hide it a little. We know that all this thing is all about stomach infrastructure, monthly salary that is very fat, that could help you to live for 4 years again. But it's not enough for us to, be making it public like this. It is too obvious. This was Bwala about 2 months ago, who said that even though you give Tinubu 30 years, that he can't change Nigeria, that he have worked with him and he know whom he is.
You see, when people talk about be patient and wait, you have to look at the time frame within which the public officer himself is expected to execute his work. The president has just been voted into a term of 4 years. He's 8 months into the term, which constitutes 31.8% of the total time that he has. He has less than 70% of the time in government. When is that going to happen? 2, when President Buhari took over in 2015, it was the same language. Nigerians patiently followed. Today, tomorrow, they finish the first term, they enter the second term. When there is a fundamental problem with policy, time is irrelevant. 30 years, it cannot.
Yes, that was Bwala about a few months ago. And today, this is Bwala of today.
So what President Bola Tinubu is using, some people say soft power, but he's using the power of engagement, the war of attrition, and the capacity to engage. Now, as I speak to you today, you are only mentioning Benue. But I can tell you that probably record will show the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, who is the governor of Bauchi, he has declared his support to President Bola Tinubu. The key leaders in that party, on recent time, you have seen a lot of them who have come out and said they are supporting President Bola Tinubu. The intriguing thing about President Bola Tinubu is that there are some who are not even saying they are leaving their party, but they said that 2024, 5, 6, 7, and to the second term of President Bola Tinubu, they are supporting President Bola Tinubu. Now, did President Bola Tinubu use any coercion? Certainly no. And this is why, like you said, it sets him apart, because politics is about engagement. Politics is about collective and national interest. And politics, more than anything else, is about showing that you care for the people you engage and talk with. And that this is what, so that I know for a fact, God keeping President Bola Tinubu alive and well, his second term is almost done, guaranteed. But I'm not suggesting that for anybody to be overexcited or to be relaxed. But I'm telling you, if you're judging based on what you are seeing around all political parties, let me even say, before the end of the first term of President Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi is going to throw his support to President Bola Tinubu. Just watch as the trend goes. And this is politics.
What a prediction. What
yes,
a prediction.
Because there is a unanimous agreement that power should go to the South, and that the North has had 8 years. Now, President Bola Tinubu has won and he's doing the first term. But by the time he is concluded, even the greater part of the Northern people will prefer that he finish the second term, so that if power goes to the North, they believe it should be able to stay for 8 years. It will not be sensical after 4 years for them to do everything possible to move it back.
All right.
But politics is not even about minus and plus. It's about engagement. That's why it is too early to even talk about political processes. We should talk about governance.
I agree.
As far as I encourage people to join politics, and honestly, I want Nigerian youth not just to participate in revolutionary group like Obedience, but I want them to join politics. I want them to join a political party and be a card-carrying member of a political party. But I do not want, people to join politics like this. It's not fair now. At least before you join politics, don't make politics to be your major occupation. Make sure you have what you are doing. Politics is like someone who is going into gambling. You can't do that as something that you will do for a living unless you have been elected as a representative, as a president, as a governor. It will become your full-time job. Because that is the reason why we are seeing all this insanity in politics. You can see that no atom of integrity. If I don't really know, he is so shameful. I now go to express how I feel about this man, honestly.
Most economics in Nigeria, and I'm glad Mr. Onje is an economist, let him challenge it. You look at budget, Price Water Cuba, you look at Riwani, most economics that I have listened to, their analysis on the budget of the president, with which is expected to execute the agenda, they have faltered it flat out. Now, let me tell you this. The policy that you said you want to change. Now, for the economics, talk about long-term and short-term. Every planning has 3 stages: immediate, mid-term, and long-term. What Nigerian people are crying because of this policy direction are matters that fall within the immediate, which is called intervention. For example, when you took out fuel subsidy, Nigerian people knew that you are going to be making about 9 trillion every month just by not giving the subsidy. And the president said the reason why he was taking out the subsidy is because the subsidy had always ended in the pockets of few people. He wanted Nigerian people to feel the impact. So what happens to the 9 trillion naira? For the past 8 months that they took out the subsidy, have you seen them providing cushioning effect that impact on those consequences of those policies? Because the consequences affect transportation, it affected feeding, healthcare, it affected every facet of life. Now, apart from the 2 billion given to the governors, for which most of them gave to their cronies and people, some even brought religious inclination into it, what more has the government done that generated the impact? There are some places who apply this kind of economic model. They will tell you when you do that, because you already saved money, not you are looking for money coming, you ought to have increased the salaries of workers by, say, if for transportation, by removing subsidy, an average worker is going to spend extra 15,000 in a month. Then maybe in feeding, because of rises of items, it's going to spend extra 5,000, meaning 20. You look at other areas, you put them together, impact it into a salary. Do you need a long term to be able to do that? Secondly, they said the reason they are saving the money is so they can invest in infrastructure. In the past 8 months, tell me one infrastructure project that was laid on ground. Meanwhile, every month we're saving 9 trillion. This is in addition to the multiples of millions in naira, in pound, in dollars that are being recovered from looters and people who looted the treasury in the last administration. Tell me one program on ground that has impacted on the lives of the common people. There is no healthcare improvement in any capacity. So when you talk about long-term plan, you are talking, let's say, for example, if you are constructing a road from Lagos to Ibadan, you will say it is going to take 2 years before it will construct. I think people should see construction people on the side. Now, what about those areas for which the money has already been saved and you need to then release it to impact? In fact, even the planning and the implementation of these policies have been faulted. Let me take you to just the one of 4 days ago. They gave out subsidy to people traveling for Christmas, Lagos, blah, 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 blah. Have you seen the implementation? Less than 7% got impacted by that. A lot of people didn't get the money. Didn't get to access it. Up till the day that the implementation was to start, these same bosses and companies that are saying, we're still giving it at the already. So then will come a time when we'll interrogate implementation. But I am talking about intervention. Intervention is not a mid-term. Intervention is not a long-term. Intervention is immediate. What is the plan and the policy of the government? Meanwhile, why I say that Nigerian people are more patient than the politicians is that, meanwhile, on the part of government, look at the trip to Dubai and look at how much waste that was made. The average SUV for the lawmaker that costs about 150 or 60 million. You have 3 senators, for example, in a state. If you multiply 160 by 3 and devote this money to the 3 constituencies in that state, you can imagine how much it will go. Nobody's looking at that. The cost of government has been enlarged and increased. So we see Nigerians saying we have seen the movie before. We know where we're coming from. We want to see deliverables. We are tired of English, mathematics, economics, science, and technology. We want to see practical, doable. And the government needs to start by conducting itself. Most of the people appointed by President Bwala Tinubu have no competence, have no capacity, have no foresight.